Hi, it's Brixton Radio. I'm your presenter, Leah Flynn, and today I'm joined by the talented Bethlehem. So, thank you for joining us. It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do, kind of like your title kind of thing?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Bethlehem Myers, and I'm an actress, a writer, a poet, and a playwright.
Damn, she ticks all the boxes.
Yeah.
It's giving like jack of all trades, like let's go. But she's the master of all of them.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? We're not saying master of none, honestly. That used to be like my little like quote that I would give myself, because I always have like my fingers in so many like pies.
Yes.
And I feel like you're the exact same.
I am, yeah. I can't get enough.
Yeah, I feel like you're always so busy. Because
Yeah.
like how I saw you was through your Instagram.
Yeah.
And literally the first thing, guys, this is why I had to reach out to her, because she's always doing something. Like she's always like super, super busy. But what's that thing that you're doing at the moment?
So I'm currently working on my one-woman show, which is titled Adey. Adey translates into my mum in the language Tigrinya, which is spoken in Eritrea. So I'm Eritrean in English. My mother is Eritrean, and I'm very passionate about platforming Eritrean identity and culture. So it's in the form of spoken word. I have a lot of poems about my mum and our relationship, and also her stories growing up, because she wasn't really given the chance to express herself and to be a girl, like to really, experience life and teenhood. And yeah, her life has been quite tough. So I'm doing my best to, get her stories out there and to represent Eritrean people, because there's no theatre out there at all for Eritreans, like, or for, representing us. You'll never see us.
Yeah.
So,
Until now.
Until now.
You know what? That is so beautiful, especially to show people about your culture, and you're obviously really passionate about it.
I am.
Which is obviously really beautiful. So, talk us like throughout, like kind of like how you came about the play. What kind of gave you that inspiration to start it?
So I trained at drama school for 3 years. I trained at Mount View in Peckham, and I did the BA acting course. And just before I graduated, I signed with a really good agent. I won't say the name because I don't want to shade anyone or get in trouble.
Okay, we'll keep that on the down.
But I signed with what I thought would be a really good agency, and they're based in Soho. And I was like, yeah, sick. Like, I've got my career like sorted. But I was with that agent for about 1.5 years, and things weren't going right for me. Like, I wasn't booking any gigs, and I started to lose a lot of hope. So out of the blue, this agent, he dropped me via email. It was very impersonal. He didn't really give me much of a reason either, and we didn't really communicate at all. So I kind of saw it coming, but the way he dropped me was very harsh. So when he dropped me, I kind of said to myself, cool, like, I can either take that and be really miserable and, sign my fate to somebody else, or I can take matters into my own hands. And now the thing is, I've always had the gift of writing. Like, even before I got into acting, writing has always been like my first love. And poetry kind of came for a bit later for me. But I got into poetry about 2019. And like I said, I'm really passionate about Black issues and Eritrean identity. So it was the height of the Black Lives Matter movement. I started writing poems about George Floyd. And then I started getting into my bag. I was like, you know what? Why has no one written about Eritrean people before or our identity? So I have a lot of poems like in my archive about my mum, and I thought, I could probably put these together. Like, I can string these poems together and make a story out of this. And who inspires me the most in this world? Who do I see day in, day out, who makes me want to go hard? My mum. And so that's where the title of the play came from, Adey. And one of the first poems I ever wrote about my mum is called The Queen of West Green, which is about Tottenham, North London. And that's where my parents met. So my mum and dad. So my dad's English and my mum's Eritrean. And it's the first time these two worlds have ever collided. Like, there's not really much Eritrean admixture in our community. But anyway, fast forward. I had all these poems, I stringed them together, and then I did a festival called Make Space with London Bubble Theatre. They're a charity based in Rotherhithe, and they do a lot of work with vulnerable young Black people and other people of colour in communities. And they helped me kind of platform this project and, get it going. So yeah, from there, I performed it once in November back at London Bubble. And then I saw Camden Fringe was happening this year, and I said, cool, like, I want to make this thing longer and like make it better. So let me bring Adey to Camden Fringe. And here we are now, 2 weeks to go. 2 weeks to go.
Oh my gosh. So you said you did it at London Bubble,
Yes.
right? So what kind of was the feedback with the audience? Like, what were people saying? Was anyone connecting with your story or anything like that?
Yes, so I actually got a really good response. I was surprised to know that people like were literally dying to get tickets. So it's sold out. The first time I did Adey, the capacity of London Bubble is about 30 or something like that. But I got about 40 people in that room. Like they had to find extra chairs just to like
Wow.
fit into the space because so many people wanted to see it. I also reached out to Leman Sise, who is a very famous Ethiopian poet, and unfortunately he couldn't come because someone in his family had passed away, so he had to go back to Addis. But he heard about it. I also reached out to Lynette Linton, who is a really famous director, and most people know her from Shifters, which she directed at the Bush. And I bumped into her on the train, and I actually told her about Adey, and she said that she would love to hear more about it. So I've got her email, and shout out to Lynette Linton. I would love to work with you one day if you ever see this, but it would be a dream come true for her to come and see that too, and Lemon, of course.
Yeah,
as well.
that would be amazing.
Yes.
And did your own mum, did she come on that show as well?
She did.
What was her reaction? I bet there was like so many emotions and stuff like that.
It was so emotional, and like the thing is, my mum is quite a shy, like conservative, traditional woman, so she doesn't like to be in the spotlight too much. But she was on the front row.
Picture it already. Honestly.
She was on the front row, and like I was trying my best not to direct everything towards her.
Yeah.
But certain moments I kept catching her eye, and she was like, don't look at me, don't look at me. She even told me the day before, she was like, don't get me up on the stage. She was like, don't make me dance. She was like, don't do it. I was like, okay, I won't do it. But she was so proud, of course. Like she's never had anything dedicated to her before. And one of the messages she sent me after the show was, no one's ever made something like that before. No one's ever told me how much they love me in that way. And I see it as like a love letter to my mum because she's been through so much, genuinely so much.
Honestly, it must be kind of surreal for her to like almost see like her own story pan like literally on the stage.
Yeah.
It must be like such a crazy experience for her, and then seeing it through the eyes of her daughter as well. It's kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to like put words into your mouth or anything like that, but what I'm getting from it is very much like that generational baggage that you almost carry within yourself, and then it comes through as like a manifestation with your daughter. But the way that you've done it is so beautiful.
Thank you.
That it's like it's not saying like, oh, this we've had such a hard life. It's almost like a celebration almost.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what I'm taking away from it. I've not seen the play or anything, but I hope that is like something that you would want to convey to like people and stuff like that.
And I think as well, me and my mum have that kind of unspoken connection because she's the eldest child and I'm also the eldest as well, and we're both women, and there's that kind of unspoken thing of, we kind of carry the family in that way. Like so many things are put on our shoulders and people expect so much from us, and I think that's why me and my mum are so close. Like we have that unspoken bond. Like we just know how it is, It's tough. It's tough. Like a lot of people look to us for the solutions, even though we're still children. We're still growing up and figuring it out ourselves.
Yeah. It's definitely like I'm not comparing the two, by the way.
Yeah.
But like in like Barbie, when like you have the mom and the daughter, and then it's like that kind of like relationship kind of.
Yes.
And it's like you probably have this like unspoken thing. So then when you're doing it on the stage, I reckon there was like such a burst of like, I don't know, just like, wow, she actually sees it like a lot. Because I know like even with like my own mum, when I like speak to her and stuff, we have like a lot of similarities or whatever. But I'm like, but we're different. So it's like, it's important to also recognize like the differences.
Yeah.
So within your play, do you have any moments where you're kind of, you're drawing it from your mum, but is there anything that draws from like yourself in particular or anything like that?
Yes, 100%. So I speak a lot about being from London as well, because that is such a big part of my identity, and specifically North London. And where I was raised in North London to me is very important because I saw so many other East Africans like growing up. So I never really felt out of place. And I speak a lot about that too, like my London identity. Like to me, being a Londoner is not the same as being British or being English. Like we kind of make London what it is. Like the multiculturalism and the diversity of London is something that I'm so proud of. And I always speak about that that. And obviously my mum isn't from London, you know, like she was born in Eritrea and then she grew up in Ethiopia from the age of 11 onwards. So she's like experienced this place as somewhere completely new. But, you know, for me, this is my home, you know, in a way it's my home, but I also see people from where she was born. And so it's like, it's interlinked, but it's different, you know. Like my mum is scared of London. Like, like, you know, when I'm coming home late, like after going to the club or going out to the bars, she's like, you know, be safe. And I'm like, Mum, I know these streets. Like, I'm okay. Like, obviously,
like,
it's
don't
dangerous.
worry, you were born here. So
yeah,
like,
exactly. I know where I'm going. I'm good. Like.
Yeah. But she's just got that worry head on her, honestly. So is there anything that you remember when you were younger, like maybe about your mom, that like kind of like stood out to you so much where you're like, oh my gosh, like this is my mom's first experience being in London or like being in the UK, I guess.
Yes. I feel like, to be honest, it's mainly kind of bad experiences. Like, if I'm honest, like a lot of kind of growing up with my mum, because my mum speaks like 3 languages and English is her third. So her native tongue is Tigrinya, which is the language that Adey is written in. Her second language, Amharic, which is the most widely spoken language in Ethiopia. And her third is English. So growing up, I've had to kind of help my mum a lot, like with translating papers or like talking over the phone. We've also experienced a lot of racist abuse as well. There was a neighbor that we had many years ago who would, you know, say very abusive things to my mum and to us as children to make us feel very scared. So, and I saw that, you know, I didn't really understand it as a kid. I didn't understand why that this white lady was giving my mum such a hard time. But things like that kind of, you know, that was tough. That was tough. But yeah, I guess everything else. My mum loves like shopping in high-end places though.
Yeah.
Like when she first came here, she told me about how she nearly maxed out all of her credit cards because she saw like Waitrose, M&S. Like she never saw shops like this before. Yeah.
Yes,
She loves John Lewis. She loves Harrods. She loves Selfridges. She loves it. And I guess for me, it's like, well, as a Londoner, I wouldn't go to the West End or like Oxford Circus, like, you know, on a casual
Mom,
thing.
why you're going there?
Yeah, but my mum wants to go there. Like she loves going to the West End. She loves like lapping up luxury. And I guess for me, that's like different. I don't really see, like, I get a little bit of it, but it's not really, you know what I mean?
But you know what? Like John Lewis and all these places, their quality in clothes are actually so good.
Yeah, they're 10/10.
Like, you know what I'm loving right now? M&S. Like their clothes.
The food is so good as well.
The food is good. I've got this like denim skirt from there, and honestly, the quality is so good. I'm like, yes. So your mum knows what's up. Like she's going to the places. Honestly.
She always says quality.
Yeah, it's about the quality. Yeah, she's right. Okay, guys, remember that. A little advice from your mum.
Period.
Wait, so what is your mum's name then?
Oh, so my mum's name is Sahainish.
Oh, okay.
So that translates into sunshine, into Grinya.
Oh.
So yeah, my mum's name is Sahainish Waldai, and then that's why my name is Bethlehem Waldai Myers, and then the Myers obviously is my dad's last name.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful, sunshine.
Yeah,
I love
sunshine.
that. Oh my gosh. Yes. My middle name is Joy, and I've always said like I would want to like swap it.
Oh really?
Because I feel like it's just beautiful to be like named after like something like that
Joy.
just gives off like the element. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I would love to have your mom's name, honestly. Like sunshine.
I love your name though.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I like it. It's light.
Yeah, let's go. Oh my god, don't gas me up. Anyway, back to you. So I saw alongside doing your play.
Yeah.
Because I know you're a busy lady.
Busy bee.
I know you're going to the gym and you're doing everything like that.
Yes.
But I recently saw that you did like a BBC 4 radio play.
Yes,
right?
I did.
Has that come out recently or is it coming out? Or can you tell us a bit more about it?
So this BBC Radio 4 drama is called The Coat. It was written by Dawn Harrison, and I believe she's the writer of the Emmerdale script. So she's quite involved, like in the industry. It was directed by Pavlos Christodoulou, and he works with Phosphorus Theatre. And Phosphorus Theatre work a lot with immigrants, refugees, and a lot of them are actually of Ethiopian descent. So they were looking for an actor of Ethiopian/Eritrean heritage, and lo and behold, here I was. I got the job, and it was talking about the migrant crisis, basically in Calais. Which has really affected the Eritrean Ethiopian community very specifically. But it was my first time ever hearing Amharic, which is one of the languages my mum speaks, in a play, and especially in a British broadcast, like BBC Radio 4, hearing Amharic, like that is wild. So I did it over the span of like 3 or 4 days. We recorded, and it is coming out tomorrow. 2:15 p.m.
Yes.
Lock in BBC Radio 4 on reduced listening. It'll be out. It's called The Coat.
Right. Yes. So on reduced listening, that's not like the live one or any. It's you can like find it on the recordings, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I think it's coming out live on BBC Radio 4, but then I think it'll be archived on reduced listening. I
Okay,
think it'll
that's
be
good.
there. Yeah,
okay,
because
because I was just wanting to make sure in case we had to like tune in at a certain time and then so we can like find it again. But
Yeah.
that's good. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Thank you.
Is there any other projects that you've been working on or any that you're like in particular like quite proud of that's kind of gotten you to where you are today?
Yes, so I've also recently collaborated with a guy called Nahom, and he runs a page called Eritrean Anthology. And so he collects ancient and rare Eritrean vinyls from the 70s. And he reached out to me recently to collaborate on a show with him for NTS Radio.
Okay.
And that is already out right now. It's part of the top picks, but essentially I performed my poem Queen of West Green there as in commemoration to my mum and to Eritrean motherhood and identity. And if you want to listen to that, feel free. But it felt such an honor to collaborate with Nahom because I've been following Eritrean Anthology for a really long time, and to see him collecting these rare vinyls, like, it is not easy to find. Like, there's really important musicians on there that are important to Eritrean people. So we have Tahatu Baraki and Tewelde Reda, Berechet Gustab, who my mum claims is her uncle. I don't know how true that is, but she says that's her uncle. So, but yeah, that's out on NTS Radio, and I'm super, super proud of that project. That was sick.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yeah. You know what? Like, I can kind of like understand how like collecting these vinyls and stuff is really important because it's almost like treasured history. Or like, I guess if your mom is saying like, oh, my uncle, like it must, like you must have some type of connection or like the roots to like going back, you know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of these places are quite small, so it's so important to have that.
Exactly. And my mum, I actually brought my mum with me that day to the recording session because I wanted her to hear the music being played. It was more so her mother's generation, so my grandmother, but she did obviously recognize some of the tracks and the music, and it was like, wow. I could see her just listening and vibing. Like when I was inside the booth, like about to record, I was watching my mum through the glass, and I could see that she was like listening to this music that she must have heard like growing up around the house or whatever. But a lot of Eritreans didn't actually have access to vinyls and like vinyl players and record players and stuff because they couldn't afford it. So it was quite a luxury and like a rarity. Like some of these vinyls, there's only like 5 out there available in the whole world, and so Nahom has like been collecting them for years. Like I think about 5 years he's been doing it.
Yeah.
So quite a while.
That's actually really cool, to be fair.
Yeah.
Do you have any of like that kind of music incorporated within your play?
Yes, I do. I'm so glad you asked.
Okay.
I'm so glad you asked. So yes, so a name that I mentioned earlier was Tahatu Baraki, and she's one of the first Eritrean women to become so successful because Eritrean women weren't really allowed to be musicians growing up because it's quite a conservative place, I have to say. But she can play the karar really beautifully, which is like a lyre or a harp, like our kind of instrument.
Okay.
And I've incorporated her music a lot into my play because she's seen as such a hero and like such a legend. And the history of Eritrea is, you know, a lot of struggle and armed resistance against Ethiopian forces, the Italians. So all of our music is symbolic of that time as well, and dedicating to the EPLF, which is the Eritrean People's Liberation Front, who are guerrilla fighters, and they fought for the freedom of Eritrea and independence for 30 years. So a lot of this music is about, you know, Eritrean liberation.
Yeah.
But yeah, throughout the whole play, I've got Abraham Afwerki as well. He's another Eritrean legend. He's passed away. May he rest in peace. Really tragic incident. But a lot of his music is iconic as well and very recognizable. And you never really hear that, you know, in theaters. And a lot of people on TikTok, like Eritreans, have been saying to me, wow, like your music selection for Adey is insane.
Yeah,
Chef's
Chef's kiss. Let's go. So with the music, is a lot of it what you've learned from your mother, or was it from the time doing these other projects, or is it just like a bit of both kind of thing?
It's a bit of both, really. Like, to be honest, I don't know what it is, but ever since I was young, I just always had a passion for knowing my roots and my origins. So I kind of took like matters into my own hands. Like my mum obviously, you know, was at the forefront of culture and teaching me language and stuff like that, and the food, like she's my mother. But I kind of did my own research as well. So when I was a kid, I used to go online and I used to learn like the Eritrean national anthem. I used to do my research about Eritrea like so in depth. I don't know, I was just like always fascinated by knowing my history. And so a lot of it actually was on my own accord. Like my mum was really surprised. Like she heard me playing a couple tracks and she was like, how do you know this song? And I was like, I've just been doing my research, Mum. I don't know.
That's a bump from my era. Like, what are you doing?
She was like, how do you know this music? And obviously, because I was born here as well, it's like, it's quite rare. And I think people are surprised at that, you know, because I'm obviously Eritrean and English. And a lot of like Eritreans who are just, you know, Eritrean and Eritrean, like maybe they don't know these songs. And so maybe that's why people are a bit surprised that they see me knowing this music. But yeah, it's mainly me, like mainly my own research, I'll be honest.
You're just a study of. I feel like you just always want to get the facts. Like,
I do. I do.
Guys, see when she came here, she literally was like looking at the vinyls. I was like, what you got? What you got? I was like, I don't know. Like, I'll just show up and see. But I feel like you've got like that keen mind. Like you're always wanting to know.
I am, yes.
And I can see how that's like translated into your play, and also for the love for your mother and everything like that. Like,
yes.
It's really nice to see.
Yes. Thank you.
One thing I wanted to ask you is that earlier you said you were the eldest, right? So do you have like other siblings, and have they seen the play, and like what do they think of it? Are they just as passionate about like your culture as you, or like what's the story there?
So I've got a younger sister. Her name is Isabella. Shout out to Isabella. She's 2 years younger than me. My sister has seen the play, yes. She came and saw it back in November. She was really, really proud of me. I would say my sister is also in touch with Eritrean culture as well. I can't speak exactly for how much in touch she is with it, but I know she is very proud of her Eritrean identity. And both of us talk a lot about that, you know, because we understand each other. Like, both of us have the same parents, we had the same upbringing, so we understand. But both of us as well were immersed in our culture too. So naturally, we both grew up eating the food, you know, listening to the language and the music. We spent a lot of time at my auntie's house, Genet, my mum's one of two sisters of my mum's side, and she lives in Peckham. And with our cousins Michael and Delina. So we're very, very close to our Eritrean family because most of them are based here in London. But we used to spend like every weekend there. So, you know, yeah, they're like our brother and sister in that way as well, you know.
Like that's the family.
Yeah, that's our family.
Tight-knit.
Very, very, yeah.
I feel like, so I've like lived in Glasgow quite a lot. And there isn't much diversity or like community, I would say. Like if there is diversity, there isn't a lot of community. Would you say here in London that there is like community within your own heritage and culture, or do you find that it's a little bit more like sparsed out and you can't really connect with others, or what's your experience been like?
You know, it's been interesting, I think. Like, I think I'm lucky to have been raised in London, like, full stop. I think I am very, very grateful and lucky for that because, you know, growing up in school, it wasn't so much about, oh, you're from this country, you're from this country. Like, there were just silly wars, like, growing up. Like, there was always diaspora wars, like the Caribbeans versus the Africans, for example. But in terms of fitting in, I did always felt like I fit in because my mum has always kind of instilled into me that I am Eritrean. And so when it came to identity, I never really felt at a loss. Although I do sometimes as well struggle. I think it's a natural thing of being mixed race as well. Like, you do kind of float between both sides sometimes and wonder whether you truly are this or whether you truly are that. And, you know, you just got to kind of embrace the fullness of you, of who you are. Like, who you are, no one can take that away from you. And that's something I've stepped into more and more as I grow up. But yeah, in terms of like connecting with other Eritreans and Ethiopians, yes, I'm very lucky. I've actually got a neighbor who lives 30 seconds away from me, and her name is also Bethlehem, and she's also Eritrean. So I grew up like kind of chilling with her and talking to her. My mum would talk to her mum. Yeah, literally. Yeah. So we all know each other, and the Eritrean community is so small. So I would grow up like playing out at the Eritreans' houses, and then I would like see them around the neighborhood, and my mum would be like, "Oh, that's your cousin." It's not actually my cousin, but she'd be like, "That's your cousin." Like, used to play around with them. Do you remember them? Yeah. And my uncle's a cab driver as well. Yeah. So he used to drive, he used to go to like this Morrison's parking lot in Holloway. I don't know if they've changed it now or not, but he used to chill with all of these other Eritrean uncles, and we would always go upstairs. My mum would like do some food shopping. She'd park the car and they'd all be chilling there. And we used to walk and they'd see us, like, oh, it's a hi, Bethlehem, like how much you've grown up. So we'd always used to talk and see our Eritrean relatives, and they were my godfathers. So, you know, I always had that. Sometimes they pick me up in the taxi and they're like, Bethlehem, oh my God, look how much you've grown. You don't remember me? And I'm like, no, I don't remember you. I don't know who you are.
I love that. So obviously your dad is English.
Yeah.
What's his involvement like? Does he like get down? Like, does he listen to music? Like, does he cook any food, or who's doing the cooking kind of thing? Like, tell me a bit about that.
Sure. My dad has always been very invested and interested in our culture. So my parents are separated. They're no longer together. They split when I was about maybe 11 officially, I think, when my dad moved out. But me and my dad are still very, very close. He doesn't live in London anymore. But when we were growing up, he never got in the way. He never wanted to interfere with what my mum was doing, because my mum wanted to like raise us the Eritrean way, which is what she always says. So we were christened in Eritrean Orthodox Church. And my dad, he wore the full kit. He wore everything, like the traditional clothes. He's eating injera. He loves injera. He finds it too spicy, but he still eats it, which I love. And he loves my poetry. Like, my dad actually is a big part of the reason why I am a writer and why I do what I do, because my dad wanted to be a writer himself. And so he was always reading books. And naturally, I became a bookworm. I started to write. I just kind of absorbed like my dad's habits and you know, kind of grew my own. So even when I write new poetry, I always send it to my dad. Like, he's one of the first people that will read my work. And he's so proud of what I'm doing. Like, he fully understands that there isn't much representation, like when it comes to Eritrean identity and whatnot. And he's so proud. He's so proud of me. And I love him so much, like very deeply. I love him, and he supports me 100%.
Wow. No, I'm like getting emotional just listening about that.
Yeah.
Because the play, yeah, it's about your mother and everything, but little bits have come from everywhere.
Yeah.
So in itself, it's almost like a love letter and an ode to your father as well.
Exactly.
Who also wanted to be a writer.
Yeah.
Like, I bet you. So your mom is seeing her life like transform onto stage, and then your dad is like literally seeing his dreams transform. Like, it's just a beautiful like full circle moment.
Thank
Honestly,
you.
like it's so amazing to hear it and your passion for it. Like,
Thank you.
I just love it. Like,
Thank you.
I think it's the Cancer moon and it's that the time of the month, but like that was getting me emotional. I was
Thank
like, no, but that's so beautiful.
Thank you.
So what's like one of your favorite poems in the play? Like, do you have any, or like, do you remember them from like the top of your head or anything like that? Or is it like secret? Do you have to like watch a play to like find it out?
You know what? I have like, okay, so my, what I call my magnum opus, right? So like my most treasured piece of poetry, it has to be Queen of West Green. Like, I don't even know what I was on when I wrote that, but that poem is so like, I just encapsulate West Green Road so well, because it's like when you walk through West Green Road, it's like walking through a mini Accra, like, you know, which is the capital of Ghana, or walking through a mini Lagos. Like, you're seeing so much diversity, so much culture, and like, I don't know, I just encapsulate that so well in my poem. I'm very proud of that. And I also love my poem called The North London Hymn. That for me, I remember I went to Alexandra Palace, which is in Haringey, like Wood Green sides, and I sat on the grass and I was looking out at the skyline when you're at Ali Pali, and you can literally see over the whole of London. And I said, you know, this is my city, you know. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to write a poem about North London. Okay. And I remember when I wrote it, I don't know what I was on again, but my hand just was like flying down that page, and I was like, it was just flowing. The words were flowing. But I'm so proud of that one. The North London Hymn is like, that one is, yeah, that's a love letter to the ends.
Well, you'll have to like send it to us so we can like plug it and like put it in like the additional stuff or whatever like that. But
for sure,
I would love to like see that as well.
For sure.
Because for myself, I have written like a few poems before, and it's almost like you do kind of need to get into that flow state.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So when you're writing a poem, do you sit down and you think, oh, I'm gonna write this poem? Or is it usually like when you see something like that and it just sparks and you're like, okay, the mind is going, I have to write it down. Like, what is kind of like your just way of like formatting it and stuff?
So it varies, like, it depends. Like, there's some times where I just have an idea for a poem and I'm like, oh, I have to write a poem about this. And then there are other times where it springs up in my mind and I don't plan it. So, like, even the other day I started a new poem and it was about how my mum was always, like, speaking in so many different languages, and I see so many different versions of herself. And I was laying in bed and it must have been, like, 3 a.m. and I had work the next day at 6 and I couldn't sleep. But I said, you know what, like, forget, like, I'm going to write this poem. Like, I woke up and I just started writing it on my notes. And I guess it's things like that. Like, sometimes I need the inspiration, and sometimes when I try and force myself to write, it feels too mechanical. Like, there are some poems I have in my notes app which I reread and I was like, what is this? Like, this is so forced. I was like, this is rubbish. And there are other times where I'm like, yes, and it just, the penny drops, you know. So it depends. And then sometimes I'll write stuff halfway through, I'll leave it, and then I'll come back to it, and then I'll transform it, or I'll make it like even better, or I'll just completely change it. So it kind of depends. But yeah, it is like stuff from my heart most of the time. Yeah.
Did your dad like teach you any tips and tricks on like maybe not necessarily like poetry, but just like how to be a writer or stuff like that? Is he quite critical, or is he harsh? Like, does he say like, okay, Bethlehem, let's switch that one up a little bit, or does he do anything like that?
You know, my dad always used to help me with my homework growing up because he's so intelligent. I have to say, my dad is very, very intelligent. He's incredibly well read, and that kind of, you know, that rubbed off on me in a way because I want that. I want the pursuit of knowledge. Like, I want to know so much stuff. So I remember as a kid, like, my dad would always correct me on my grammar. And I think that's kind of why I'm so well spoken. Even pronunciation and stuff like that, my dad would always say, no, it's not like this, it's like this. But he wouldn't do it in a way that's like overly harsh or overly critical, but it was more so just in a way where it's like, not this, it's this, like a correction. And I actually really appreciate that because now I've grown up, I kind of have that embedded in my brain. But when he like reads my work, he'll sometimes just say, okay, no, this is beautiful. Like, he'll always start with very overwhelmingly positive comment, and then he'll say, oh, maybe you can change the flow to this, or maybe not repeat this word so much. But it's always in a way that's constructive. And, you know, he was more of a novelist, I would say, like, rather than a poet. And I think as well, for me, at the core of everything, I'm more of a novelist and a creative and a descriptive writer. Yes, I love storytelling. Like, that is my bag. Like, when I was in primary school, that was what I was known for. Like, that's how I got kind of like awards and stuff in school. I would go speak to the head teacher and they would read my creative writing and say, this is just phenomenal. And I still want to write a book one day. I really want to write a book. Yes. Yeah, I want to write a novel.
Okay. Do you have like an idea of what the novel will be, or are we keeping it like
Stum.
For now.
Well, I just finished reading a book by Bernardine Evaristo, and it's called Manifesto, and it's Don't Ever Give Up, I believe it's called, or Never Give Up. And my God, it's like an autobiographical book that she wrote about her life, and it is incredible. It's one of the best things that I've ever written, and me and her have so much in common as well, because she trained at drama school. She also obviously is an author now. I'm hoping to be an author. She's a poet, and she worked in a theatre company as well. She had her own theatre company, so we have so much in common. So I want to write something like that. Like, I want to write about my life, you know, and my experiences, because I have experienced quite a lot of things as well, like growing up. But yeah, reading that was just like, yeah, I've got to write something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And it goes in with what you're saying, like the story. And I feel like with you, I feel like you do everything with your heart.
I do.
You know what I mean? So you need the heart, the story in everything.
Exactly.
So I see it. I see that for you.
Thank you.
So, just another question that just popped into my head.
Yes.
I really, really want to know. What is like that food like? Like, what is your favorite like dishes and stuff? Because it's all I've been thinking about. She's even talking about these things, so I'm like, I need to know.
Our food is so good, right?
Yeah.
So we're actually in Brixton, and Brixton have so many Eritrean and Ethiopian restaurants, and I'm seeing it now kind of pop up more and more. Like, people are like trying our food, and our food basically is injera. So injera is like a kind of sourdough. It's like a sour pancake, basically. It's made out of buckwheat. Okay. So it's like that. So it's sour. It's got a slightly tangy taste. But then on the top, you have like different stews and sauces that you use the injera bread to, like, you rip off the injera bread and then you mop it up with your hands and then you eat it like this. And you've got so many different types of stews. So you've got like loads that are vegan. You've got vegetarian. You've got meat ones. And some of my favorite ones is there's one called dorho, which means chicken, and it comes with like a boiled egg. And to say egg is so hard. It's like enkraho. I can't even say it, but enkraho in Tigrinya is so difficult.
And then in English it's just
Egg.
I always say egg like that. I'm like, egg. I don't want
And the Ethiopians call it dorowet, but that's one of my favorite dishes of all time because it's just so delicious. And we mainly kind of reserve that for Easter or like Christmas because it's like a celebration. And most of the time, Eritreans and Ethiopians do a thing called tzom, which is fasting. So they fast a lot, like, so they'll always eat vegetarian dishes. And some of my favorite dishes as well are vegetarian. So we have shuro, which is made out of chickpeas, and it's like blended. It's like really spicy, and you eat it with like a little green pepper as well. That is one of the best dishes ever, and it's so light as well, but it fills you up, and it's so good.
What's it called?
Shuro. Shuro, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So good.
Right?
It's vegetarian chickpea.
Are
you?
I'm gonna try that.
Oh, you girl, you gotta try. There's so many dishes, like tumtumo as well. Tumtumo is like lentils. You've got alicha, which is also lentils. Oh, it's so good. Hamli, which is like spinach, like spicy spinach.
You're speaking my language, like, I love all this
It's
kind of
too
stuff.
good.
So I'm gonna try it, honestly.
Yeah, it's so good.
It sounds so good. I'm such a foodie, so that's why I needed to ask. I was like, I need to know about this.
You could get like a big platter. Like normally they'll do like a big like sharing platter because our food is like made to be shared most of the time.
Yeah.
So you'll get like a big plate of injera
Yeah.
like that with loads and loads of different sauces on the top.
And
And you
is
can
it
mix
like
and match.
People are kind of like sitting around and you're like grabbing some over there kind of thing.
Exactly.
I can literally picture it. Like, you are a storyteller because you're like, me, I'm a visual learner and you're bringing me the visuals. I can see it. Like, it's working. But yeah.
Thank you.
So, do you have, after this play,
Yeah.
do you have anything else that's coming up or anything that you would like to happen? Like, what's like kind of like future or next steps?
So in September, I have an advert that's being released with Compare the Market. Simples. So I filmed for that in May, and that was actually the first time I've got a paid opportunity. So shout out to my agent Nancy. Thank you so much for that, Nancy, and Felicity. Thank you guys so much. But that was the first time I got a paid opportunity. So that's coming out in September, and then naturally, of course, I've got my BBC Radio 4 thing coming out tomorrow. And then ahead of time, I don't know, I'll probably be chilling, you know. I'm going to go to All Points East. I know that's kind of like unwork related, but I am going to All Points to see Doechii and Tyler, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that. That's going to be
so
sick.
Jealous. Like, I love Tyler. I'm obsessed with
I know,
her.
she's so fun. And Doechii, oh, I love Doechii. Oh my God.
She's a performer.
Yes.
Like, both of them girls, they're performers.
Yeah, exactly. You get
I
it.
feel like they put their all into everything.
Yes.
Like, why can't I be like, like Tyler's style as well. is
Yeah.
like, I just love like the little, because she does a lot of like her culture.
Yes.
Into, like, her pieces as well.
Yes.
And I just love it. Like her little two pieces. And like her eyebrow slit. I actually copied her. Like, I had the eyebrow slit. But it's going back in now. But yeah, I'm loving them two girls. Who else is playing there actually?
Oh my God. Oh, Ray as well.
Ray. Oh, I love Ray.
Ray, yeah, I think she's the headlining act. Ray is the headlining act. I do like Ray. I haven't listened to like loads of her music, but
I
she's got
love
an
her.
amazing voice.
She's such like a London girl.
She is.
I
She's from
thought-
Croydon.
Is she?
She's from Croydon. Yeah, yeah.
For some reason, I thought she was like North London.
No,
I was
she's from
like,
Croydon.
She's giving me bougie. You know what? Like, I love that for her. Like, no, I love Ray, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like she's so authentic as well.
She is.
I could see you and her be a mate.
Really?
Yeah. I see it.
I
If
feel
you
like
were
I don't
me-
know.
See, if you were like me and Ray are friends, I'll be like, okay, cool. Because it's just like that authentic, just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like whatever she does, she's always going to be herself.
Yes.
Like, you know when she just kicks off her shoes on stage and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, girl. I
Eh.
could never do that. But I love it. I love it.
Yes. And then yeah, I mean, I was thinking about applying to the Edinburgh Fringe, but I know that's happening next year.
Yeah.
So it's not really gonna happen this year, but I was thinking about that. And I think just going out to more like open mic nights and stuff, you know, like just spreading out my word and like, you know, having people see my shit, my stuff more, you know, I want to do that. But yeah, I'll be chilling after that. I'm gonna be working, saving up money, like, you know, grinding
You need to
season.
relax because I know you're always on the go. So after this, go into hibernation. When autumn, winter comes, chill out, and then pop back out again. But so thank you so much for coming on the show. Like, it's been amazing to hear everything, and I've learned so much. And hopefully, whoever's listening has learned a lot about you, your culture, and just everything is just amazing.
Thank you.
So thanks again for coming on.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye, guys.